All right, y'all, if you've been thinking about starting a side hustle with Amazon FBA, but you can't find any profitable products to sell, this video is for you. Because in this video, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process to make your first $1,000 profit selling products on Amazon. So we're about to go hit one of my local retailers and find some name brand products that you can sell and get approved to sell on Amazon. If you've looked into selling on Amazon before, there's a lot easier way than doing drop shipping, which isn't allowed, or creating our own product listings and shipping stuff from Alibaba. What we want to do instead of those business models is called retail arbitrage, or you can do online arbitrage. It's basically the same concept, and this is the fastest and safest way to start making money on Amazon because it requires the least overhead risk. If you do find this video useful and you want to help me hit my childhood dream of having 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Super simple. Step one, go ahead and go to sell.amazon.com and click the sign up button. The process of getting approved to sell on Amazon can take a couple weeks because it involves verifying your information and address, so I'll go ahead and start this today. After that, you'll want to go ahead and download the SellerAmp app so you can start scanning the products and figure out how fast they sell and what your profits are. Then you need to find your closest local retailer. Ideally, it's a discount retailer like Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, or any of the outlet stores. For our example today, we're going to go hit my local Ross. So now you have all the basics. Let's go hit my local retail store. I'm going to start by looking at categories that I've had a lot of success in, being household products, beauty products, and any clothing products. And of course, after we find some winning products, I'm going to show you how to get approved or ungated to sell those brands. Let's go get after it. All right, so the first item I wanted to check out here was in the office supplies section. I whipped out the SellerAmp app here. It was on clearance for $7, and let's dive into the data here so we can see if it's a good item. So this is the data that SellerAmp showed me here. I want to talk a little bit about what we're looking for on these products. Obviously, we want to make a profit, right? So the first thing I'm always going to do is check the sale price that pulls up. In this case, these are actually selling for $30 right now, which I thought was crazy, but people pay some insane prices for stuff on Amazon, and then that clearance sticker had them for $7. One really important metric is the BSR on an item. So that 1,000 bestsellers rank basically means that this is the top 1,000 best-selling arts crafts item on Amazon basically. And then SellerAmp also tells me the estimated sales for this item. So in this case, all of the variations of this product sell over 2,000 times a month. Since there's only one on the shelf, I wish there was a lot more of these, but I don't think we're gonna have any problem selling this. So there's $14 profit. So while I'm looking at the shelves here, I'm always just looking for anything. It seems like it might be a real brand, basically. You want to find the stuff that seems pretty legit. See, I'm pretty happy about that one. So you can see this is on sale for $9. And let's go ahead and dive into the data here too. So on the data, this sells 40 times a month. There was actually 3 of these on the shelf, so I can sell more than one this time. You're seeing that max cost option, by the way. That shows me the price that I need to pay for this item for it to meet my ideal profit standard. So this one's really close. I would probably just go ahead and pick this up. Usually I'm looking for at least $3 profit on every single product that I buy and 35% return on investment. This is very close though. So these down here on the bottom shelf, I saw 2 of these collecting a little bit of dust, and the price had been marked down 2 times, which is always good. So these were marked down to $9. Plugging that in, we're actually going to make pretty solid profit. And I saw that Amazon is on this listing too, by the way. And sometimes we can't compete with items that Amazon is already selling. But if I zoom in on the SellerAmp chart down here, you see how the Amazon price, that orange bar, is way above the purple line. Try not to get too in the weeds, but if that buy box price chart, that purple line, that's where the sales are actually happening on this listing, and it's below Amazon's price. So in this case, Amazon isn't a competitor we need to be worried about. And especially in this case, since we're doubling our money, we're turning $9 into $30 in sales, leaving us with $9 in profit. This one's definitely going to be worth. So I'll go ahead and pick up another 2 of those right there and pick up $18 in profit. Another thing to think about while I'm filming this video, we've got Christmas coming up. So I was also checking out the toy section. Honestly, a lot of these were marked down pretty good. And this little Arkham Knight toy right here, I found several of these on the shelf. I think there was 6 of them. I was able to get them for $6 each. And let's look at the data real quick so you can see the profit on it. So the BSR on this one's pretty good. It's at 68,000. For toys and most categories, I like to make sure the BSR is under 150,000. Sometimes I'll go over if the ROI is pretty good though. And in this case with toys, it's already selling 70 times a month, and it's only going to sell more and more as we get closer to Christmas. So I picked up several of these, making $4 a unit. So let's just conservatively call that another $20 in profit. Toys were looking pretty promising today, so I kept scanning more of these and found this one as well. It's based on the video game, and these were actually on clearance for $4, and they sold for way more. Unfortunately, I only had 2 of these on the shelf, but those are selling for $18. They sell 57 times a month, so I picked up 2 of those. Let's add $9 more in profit. And sourcing products on Amazon is all about finding adjacent opportunity, so I knew we probably were onto something with this particular video game franchise, finding some deals. These were also on sale for $4, and you can see the data was looking pretty good here too. And the nice part about this one is that there was actually 3 of them. You can see this is one of those exceptions to the BSR rule that I like to follow. This is actually a 250,000 rank, but since it sells 40 times a month and the profit was really solid, I'm not going to pass on another 15 bucks. Let's take them. I kept finding more of these video game items that were pretty good here. I saw several of these on the shelf. I think there was 3 of them, and these were actually on sale for 5 bucks, and the sale price on these was crazy. This is another one that didn't sell super fast right now. I'm not worried about making sales, especially with Christmas on the horizon though. There was 3 of these on the shelf, and we actually make $6 profit per unit on these. So let's add another 18 bucks profit into the cart here. All right, we're back from the store now. I've got some of these profitable products in hand. Let's go ahead and ship them off to Amazon, and I'll show you the whole process. Because the easier way to sell on Amazon is via Amazon FBA. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these profitable products we just found. I'm going to go ahead and box them all up. We're going to ship them off to Amazon, and then when these products arrive at Amazon, they're going to take care of all these sales, the order fulfillment, customer service, all that kind of stuff. Let's dive in. To create Amazon FBA shipments, I use Boxem because it helps track my profits, show me what my business is actually making, and it also just massively simplifies the process of shipping off to Amazon. It's one of those things that's a no-brainer if you value your time as a business owner. So let's go ahead and quickly dive in. So we create a shipment here, go to name the shipment. I'm going to select FBA fulfillment. This is where you select your address. For today's video, we're going to be doing small parcel. If you're ever shipping out pallets at a time, that's where you'll do LTL. We're going to make this a case packed shipment, which means, hey, I already have all of these items all together. Don't split them across to a bunch of different warehouses. And then we're also going to be making sure we use 2D barcodes. This is something that you have to use a third-party software for. Amazon even recommends that sellers use these because it can help Amazon check in these boxes at Amazon. For me, it helps me make sales a little bit faster when it actually checks in. I'm going to go ahead and autofill my pricing here just so we list our price way above what it's actually selling for. And then when it checks in, I'll go and lower my price just in case, for example, on these toys that we're about to ship in, if the price goes up from the holidays, I don't want to accidentally sell it cheaper than I should. So this is going to list it extra expensive for me. We can also go ahead and auto print our FN SKU labels. I would recommend turning it on to assign after boxes. I'll show you how that works, and I'm just going to do it manually with you guys so you see how the process works. And then I also want to store all of this information in my items because this is going to help me over time basically figure out which suppliers are profitable and how profitable my actual items are, obviously, right? So let's go ahead and click this create shipment button. Next, we'll add items to our batch. I went ahead and grabbed 2 of those products off the shelves. I'm not actually able to send this because it would show a little bit too much information, so I'm just going to be diving into this example. Whenever I got to the store, not on camera, I'm obviously buying all that stuff and shipping it all in, but I'm just going to use 2 different products here so you can see how that works. And right here in this box, you can search by title, you can search by UPC, whatever's easiest for you. I usually end up using the ASIN. And just as a quick hack, whenever you're out finding products with SellerAmp, if you're using the app and you go down to the notes and tags, you can just star the item. And then whenever you go to list the products, they'll be right here. And then I can just go ahead and grab the ASIN for that product. You can also use SellerAmp to send it to a custom Google Sheet if you want to store your ASIN and cost that way. Just want to show you a couple different ways to do it. So let's go ahead and add this to our batch. We got our ASIN right there. We're going to click new SKU. In this case, there isn't a buy box because the price is already fairly high. So let's just go ahead and list it at the highest price that we can see there. Our buy cost for these was $6, and I was able to get 6 of these off the shelf. Right here, I'm going to say we already have 6 all in a case together. And then for our supplier, we're going to go ahead and use Ross because that's where we went out and bought them. And then we're going to say that we purchased these today. Down here, Boxem also automatically creates the SKU. So as I'm going through and trying to manage my inventory, I know how likely it is that I can restock the item, how profitable I am if I need to change prices, all that kind of stuff. And then if you ever have any products that expire, you'll set that right there. Obviously, toys don't expire, so let's go ahead and add that product. So we've got all these added here. Let's go ahead and add the next product. I'm going to do the same process where I just grab it from my favorites, go back over to Boxem, punch in the ASIN, go ahead and press new SKU. And then I was able to get 3 of these off the shelf. And again, let's just go ahead and set a high price of $30 for these. So I repeated that same process there. Go ahead and add the product. Repeat this process as many times as you need. You can add hundreds of products. You could add 1 product to a shipment. Let's go ahead and press continue though, confirm and send request. And so at this step in the process, Amazon has decided that it wants these items shipped to California and it wants these items shipped to a different fulfillment center in California. So let's go ahead and confirm all of those shipments there. And now this is where we'll start needing a couple supplies to send these shipments in. Number 1 being the 4x6 labels that look like this. You can actually get these for free from UPS if you have a UPS account. And we also need these 2x1 barcode labels. We're going to use these to label our items so Amazon knows what we have. And then this isn't required, but it is strongly recommended, especially after you make like your first shipment. Getting a Rollo label printer or any other thermal label printer is going to make printing on these a lot easier, and it's just going to make the process faster for you. Before you start printing labels, you'll download Boxem Print, which automatically connects to your printer and helps print out the right size label every time. If you're not using a thermal printer right away and you just want to use your standard printer that you have at home, make sure you select use 30 up labels, and then you can print the labels on your household printer on something like this. So now we're going to go ahead and tell Amazon what we have in our box with the bulk assign button. I'm going to say, hey, we have 6 of these already in one box. We'll also want a tape measure and scale to figure out what the dimensions on the product actually are. I've got a Walmart box behind me that is 24 by 16 by 19. We'll also set our weight right there, which is going to be about 6 pounds on this. Let's go ahead and save and print our box label. Before we put each item in the box, it also needs to have an FN SKU label, so we can go ahead and print those out right here. Once we have the FN SKU barcode printed, we're going to take it and we're going to cover right over that UPC barcode. You want to cover the whole thing so Amazon doesn't actually scan the barcode. It's hard to do it in the mirror here. After the FN SKU barcodes are printed, go ahead and start picking up the items, labeling over the UPC barcode, and then put it directly down into your box. You're typically going to get the best per pound shipping rate if you're able to fill your boxes up to close to 50 pounds. So in this box, we're going to have some empty space, which I'll typically go ahead and fill with craft paper or just use a smaller box. And since we also already printed out our FBA box label, we're going to take this label and we're going to put it on the outside on the side of the box. Once this shipment's all finished, go ahead and select any other shipments you need to finish and repeat the process. Go ahead and press continue on the completed shipments, and this is going to communicate all that information with Amazon. Go ahead and press accept shipping charges, and I only had big boxes laying around and 6 pounds worth of products, but typically you'll end up paying about 60 to 80 cents per pound when you're filling up boxes properly. After accepting the shipping charges, we can print our UPS labels. And then it's the same story on that label. Go ahead and put it on the side of your box. Make sure you try box them for free for 2 weeks down below, and now you know how to find and ship out your products. Let's talk about some of the nitty-gritty, like getting approved to sell these brands. To see what you're already approved to sell, you'll just go into your Amazon Seller Central account, go to Catalog, Add Products, and then type in a brand name. Stafford is an example of a brand that is auto-ungated for most Amazon sellers, so you don't need any invoicing or anything like that to actually get approved to sell the brand. And the reason why you can see that's true is when I select New Condition, it's letting me immediately sell this product. And if it's a brand that you're not already approved to sell, and it says Apply to Sell right here, we can go ahead and click that button, go ahead and press Request Approval. And in this case, since it's a big major tool brand, we have to basically provide some documentation that shows Amazon that we don't buy fake products. Sometimes with smaller brands, when you press that request approval button, it'll automatically approve you and you can immediately start selling that brand. For my own store and helping thousands of other Amazon sellers, it seems like once you sell your first $10,000 to $20,000 in products, you start getting a lot more products auto-ungated. And if you do go to request approval for a brand and it asks you for invoices, basically we just need to go ahead and get an invoice from a trusted online retailer. So for example, Milwaukee is definitely going to be sold at a website like Lowe's. And to get this invoice that Amazon is requesting, we can just go ahead and go search for Milwaukee products at Lowe's. Go ahead and buy 10 of whatever the cheapest item you can find is, or buy 10 of an item that you can already source profitably. You can use profitable products that you've already found. As long as you're buying at least 10 of them like Amazon requires, you can use that online invoice to submit to Amazon. And then typically within a day or two of submitting that invoice to Amazon, Amazon is going to respond to you, let you know whether or not that was accepted. And if you get any information declined, go ahead and add any extra information possible like tracking number, and then continue to submit that information until Amazon approves you. You typically won't have success trying to get ungated using retail receipts, which is why it's smart to just buy 10 units of something online. For me, when I started seeing the same brand profitably in store that I knew I was gated in, and it just kept popping up and I didn't want to miss that opportunity anymore, that's when I went online and bought some. But especially when it comes to the local discount stores, there's often a reason why it's marked down so much, and a lot of times it's in those brands that are auto-ungated. And after seeing all this, I'm sure you're wondering if there's a way that eventually you don't have to keep driving out to local retail stores to keep making money. And that was the same question I asked myself. I started my Amazon business and did my first couple $100,000 in sales driving around to local stores. But the way I've been able to scale my Amazon store to over $5 million in sales is buying the same types of name brand products all from home. It tends to be a little bit more challenging to find products from home because people are on a lot more level playing field than just your local geography, but you can sell the same types of name brand products. For example, here's an item that I found on sale for $25 and then I sold them for $50 on Amazon. As you scale your Amazon business long term, you can also turn it into a legitimate business. It's not always just going to have to be a side hustle. So what this really means is for my personal Amazon business, I started it as a side hustle. I spent a lot of time mastering it, learning the basics, but since then I've hired virtual assistants and even some of my friends to work in my Amazon business for me. And now I spend about 30 minutes a day on my business that should generate about $2.5 million this year. And it's all been built off the back of selling other successful name brand products that already sell, making this the safest and fastest way to make money on Amazon. So if you want to get started for yourself, make sure you check out a free trial trial of SellerAmp and box them down below. I'll also leave a link to my completely free Amazon course that comes with 3 hours of video, lots of PDFs, and a free Discord community of over 50,000 Amazon sellers. Once again, if you did find value, please hit that subscribe button, and while you're down there, go ahead and drop any questions, comments, anything like that. I'm always super happy to answer that for you, but I really appreciate you watching this video, and I will see you next time.